All right, let me know if everything looks and seems okay, because I haven't streamed in a while, so there's a chance that everything might be off a little bit, but I'm hoping that we got it good here. I'm going to turn my light down because I look extremely pale. There we go. A little better. Oh gosh, I look even more pale. That's all right, though. That's all right. All right, are we live? Let's see. Yes, looks like we are live. Is the quality good for everybody? Let me know in the comments or the chat box, whatever you call it when you live stream. I don't even know. Let me know if everything looks good. We're going to get the conference call going, and we're also going to go through the earnings release as soon as it comes out. I'm going to zoom out on my camera just a little bit. There we go. So, here we go. Join our 2021 earnings call. You guys can't see this right now, but I'm just trying to get everything set up here. And let's see. Okay, everybody's saying really good quality. I'm glad to hear it. I wasn't sure if the internet here at my lake house can handle it, but it's looking good, so I'm glad to hear it. We're going to have to keep troubleshooting as I get this stuff pulled up because, again, it's been a while since I've started streaming. Thank you all for joining me, by the way. It's awesome. As far as I know, CleanSpark's plan is to release their press release or whatever on their quarterly and annual earnings before the earnings call goes live. We don't know if we're going to get the SEC filing, though, because there was an SEC filing that said it might be delayed. So we're waiting on that. Is my voice okay? Am I loud enough? Maybe I'm freaking out too much. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see lots of guys in here. Chad's here, Eric's here, Will's here, Vitaly's here. CC Ben, wow, you're an OG Ben. I remember you. Sean Warner, Scooby Dooby Doo, Matt McWilliams is here. Yes sir, Ryan here. Anthony, Will, all right. It looks like we're doing really well. This is going way better than I anticipated, so I'm happy. The only issue is, and I'll show you guys on the screen right now, I cannot get CleanSpark's investor relations page to load. I'm getting this circle of death here. Like if I go to, let's try a different button, but none of those top buttons are working. Let's look at this. SEC filings. Let's see if this loads. If not, we might be in trouble because, and maybe it's just their website's just got a lot of traffic right now. I don't know, but you see it's not loading. I'm just getting that wheel of death there. So I'm going to switch back, and we're going to try and get this figured out, and you guys don't have to watch me do it. How you guys doing today, by the way? I know stocks today were better than they have been, so that's a good thing. Now, I've said it on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. But one thing I always preach is that you can do everything right in the stock market, but if you don't have patience, you're going to fail at the whole thing. Having patience is how you make money in the stock market, at least in my personal experience and according to the greatest of all time, Warren Buffett. Hugo says from London. Holy smokes, all the way from London. That is awesome. Let's see. Okay, good dude asked, do you think CleanSpark will turn completely to a Bitcoin miner? No, I don't, but, it wouldn't surprise me either if it did happen. Frank's here. Frank, what's going on, Frank? I haven't seen you in a while either. All right, yep. I'm going to try and reload this CleanSpark investor relations page because it was being silly earlier. It's still giving me... It must just be their website that's down because everything else is loading okay. I'll see if I can get into their website or into the earnings call a different way. I don't know if you guys are just like spamming the website right now so it's not loading or whatnot, but everything else is loading fine for me. Cancun, Martha Reyes from Cancun. I'm jealous. My brother, one of my older brothers is having a wedding this Saturday, and their honeymoon is in Cancun towards the end of December. So if you see somebody that looks like me, we look quite a bit alike. Walk up to him and say you watch RexFinance. Oh, okay. Yeah, you bet, guys. I love doing these live streams. The website crashed. Okay, so it's not just me that's having issues. I'm seeing other people say the website is down for them as well. That makes my day. The Netherlands is here. Marvin from the Netherlands. That's awesome. Israel. Man, we represent the entire globe, don't we? Rex Nation, man, this is awesome. Hey, if you guys wouldn't mind, by the way, it's a little bit difficult for me to do this while I'm trying to stream and talk to you guys. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing the link to this stream to like the CleanSpark Stock Twits, or if you're in my Discord server, share it in there. Greatly appreciate it if you would do that, because it's just kind of difficult for me to do that while I'm talking to you. But there is one thing that you guys cannot do, and that is post on my personal Twitter account. So I'm going to post on my Twitter and attempt to talk while I do it. I'm not a good multitasker. Here, I'll show you guys this. I'll show you so that you guys aren't bored. I'm gonna send out the link in this tweet. Let's see, CLSK live streaming the earnings and conference call. Booyah! All right, I'm more capable than I thought I was. Look at that, just like that. Hey, go retweet, favorite, follow me on Twitter, Rex_finance. How many followers do I have? I don't even know. 2,236. Let's get to 2,250. We can do it. But all right, I sent that out. I'm going to try and get back into the CleanSpark website here. And if I can't get into it, I will message Matthew Schultz or somebody from CleanSpark. Send them an email or something to see if they can help me get in. But again, it sounds like all of you are having issues getting into the CleanSpark website. It's not just me, so that makes my day. Frank is from New York City. That's awesome. Hawaii. Wow. There's a lot of people from all over the world. This is super cool. Super cool. All right. Dee says you posted it on StockTwits. I really appreciate it, Dee. Yes, you're my man or woman. I don't know, and I don't want to assume. Garrett Koos is in here, classmate. Yes, sir. Varun, it's up. Okay, people are saying the CleanSpark website is up. I am going to try and get in. Still giving me the spinning wheel of death. Let's see. Okay, I at least have the link to the webcast, so we know we can get into the earnings call. But I just can't get into the official CleanSpark website, which, that's all right. Okay, I will try again in a little bit. But we do have the link to the webcast. So, again, I know other people are going to struggle to get into the webcast because you can't access the link without accessing CleanSpark's website. So feel free to share this with other CleanSpark shareholders so they can at least listen to it. I'll try and be quiet when the actual earnings come out and the earnings call takes place. Gorik is from Belgium. By the way, sorry if I'm butchering all your names. I only speak English and a little bit of Spanish. Un poco. I actually took a class of Spanish in college, so I did 4.5, 5 years of Spanish between high school and college, but college was a different ball game and wasn't my calling, I'll just say that much. All right, people are saying the share price is waiting for action. People are still saying the website is down and servers are burning up. Hey, at least, think positive here. The fact that the website is down means that there's interest in CleanSpark. That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. All right, we see another person from Belgium. Wow, that's so cool. Ben Anderson's in here. How many Bens do we have? I feel like we got like 3 or 4 Bens. This is awesome. By the way, if you didn't know, my actual first name is Ben, not Rex. Rex is my middle name. Coolest middle name ever, by the way. Wow, how many from Belgium do we have? It looks like there's like 5 to 6 from Belgium here. That's super cool. Nitro Bricks is from Florida, yes. Okay, so just to show you guys proof that I do have access to the earnings call, there you go. It's going to pop up here when the earnings call goes live, and we do have access to it. I was able to get into the earnings call despite their website being down. But we're still going to try and get their website to load for when they actually release their earnings press release. Again, is the audio fine? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? I want to get this stuff hashed out before the good part of this stream comes. Also, I'm curious, outside of CleanSpark, let me know one ticker that you really like right now, because obviously there's deals and deals and deals. Let's see. Okay, everybody's saying audio's Gucci, so I won't touch it. I will not touch the audio. People are saying it's good. Okay. Does everybody have their ropes ready? That is That is sad. Okay, so we have a lot of SFT. We have lots of CleanSpark or dies. That's respectable. Jacob Foster says ILUS. That's kind of a popular one in the members within my membership group. I personally am not invested in ILUS. Just a heads up. I see Nano Dimension. That's one I actually want to look into again. Now they have a lot of cash. The only issue is with the inflation concerns. They need to start deploying the cash, or at least investing that cash so it doesn't get eaten away by inflation. I see SoFi, Riot. I would love to buy a Riot. Let's see, PayPal. Astra. Yeah, Jason Sparks. You must be a fan of Dead Inside. That's super cool. I'm personally not invested in Astra, but it's a really interesting company. Definitely. Enviz, Microvision, I think that's another cool one. Yeah, I see a lot of people liking Nano Dimension right now. A lot of CleanSpark or die people. I see one guy spamming Wen Moon. We're all waiting for it, buddy. We're all waiting for it. But, have some patience. I already prefaced this in this live stream. Patience is the part of investing that if you lack it, you're going to fail at the entire thing. I see Humble. Humble's a classic. Yeah, I see several Humbles. HMBL. I've covered that one on my channel several times. Very interesting. They're doing some interesting things over there. Their business model has changed a little bit from when I originally looked into them, but they're doing some interesting stuff there, and I'm not against it. I see GGPI. That's like an EV SPAC, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Lucid Motors, yeah. I guess what we could do, so we're not just talking here, bored, I'll switch over to my Webull here, and we can look at how stocks have performed today. CleanSpark is up 2.4% after hours, probably because Bitcoin is on the move. And I should say this, since most of you are interested in CleanSpark. I don't feel like the earnings release is going to matter as much as the price of Bitcoin when the earnings hit the public. Because if Bitcoin's showing strength, CleanSpark's a better company for it, and who really cares what happened in the past? Another thing we should do, I'm actually going to do this now. One thing we should do is look at what the analyst expectations are for CleanSpark to see if we beat or not. So I'll switch back to Google quick. Then we'll go back to Webull and look at all those tickers and see how we perform today. I forgot what I was going to do now. I forgot what I was going to do. That's all right. It happens, right? We'll just go to Webull. We'll go to Webull, and maybe it'll come back to me. Let's go my watch list. Here's all the growth stocks. I kind of have different watch lists for everything. Pretty mixed day, really, leaning 2/3 red, but it's not as red as it has been over the past week or so, which is good. I remember what I was going to do. I was going to look at the earnings expectations from the analysts. Yes. Thank you, brain, for becoming awake again. All right. Let's go to, they usually have it listed. Okay, CleanSpark's up 3% now. Did I miss the earnings release? I don't think I did. Let's go. Analysis. If you guys didn't know, Yahoo Finance is a good tool to see the analysis section, which is all the analysts and their revenue estimates and things like that. So it says, let's see, current quarter, September 2021. I believe this column right here is what we're looking at. Analysts expect $23 million roughly. I'm going to write this down. I would highly suggest you guys to do so as well. 23.26 million revenue. And what do they say for earnings? Let's see. Do they have any earnings? Oh, up here. I'm dumb. Okay. Average estimate is positive 0.07. If I had to guess, that positive 0.07 is probably going to miss. But who really knows what's going to happen? We only have 2 analysts right now, obviously. It'd be great if we could get some more. But over time, that'll happen. All these stocks that have come on to the scene don't have many analysts right now. I know Jeremy from Financial Education made a video on it. It's just a natural thing. Over time, companies, if they're doing the right things, they'll gain analyst attention, which gains Wall Street attention, which gains mainstream media attention, which gets more interest in the stock. So, 23.26 million in revenue is what we're looking for the quarter. and 0.07 EPS. If I had to guess, we're going to beat on revenue and miss on EPS. I expect the Bitcoin mining revenue to be anywhere between, the 22 to 25 million range. We'll see what happens with that. And then energy on top of that, I kind of anticipate between 7 and 10 million in energy revenue. And that's based on previous press releases we got where they basically said July was the greatest month for the energy segment in the company's history. And I'm just assuming that August and September were even better than July, but we'll just have to see. I would say anywhere on the low end of that 22 to 25 million in Bitcoin mining revenue for CleanSpark is going to be a disappointment. If we beat that or we're on the high end of that, obviously it'll be a good thing. And then the same thing for the energy business. I don't think the energy side is going to lay an egg this quarter, but I really don't know. Anyways, I'm going to switch back to the Webull, and we'll cover some of these different stocks. I also want to check up on the chat here to make sure I'm not blowing you guys off here. Let's see. DJ Gadley says, is the Bitcoin they sold this quarter included in revenue? So the way they account for revenue is actually as they mine it. So at least that's my understanding. As they mine the Bitcoin, the total worth of that Bitcoin is basically considered revenue. And from there, if you sell it, obviously you're either selling at a capital loss or a capital gain. I'm no accounting expert on cryptocurrency. In fact, I don't think anybody is. Nobody really knows the best way to account for Bitcoin right now. The rules, there aren't many, but who knows? Let's see. I'm going to go back to Webull here. So Bitcoin's doing really well, 48,225. That's very strong, and thank goodness, because I've said it already, but if Bitcoin is strong when these numbers come out, I don't really think it's going to matter a whole lot what our previous quarter numbers were. The only thing is, if the energy business lays an egg, you might get some quick panic selling from the investors that originally invested in CleanSpark because of the microgrids and don't want to be invested in solely a Bitcoin mining company. I already got that question today if I think CleanSpark is going to revert to just solely Bitcoin mining and divest of the energy business and whatnot. I don't think so. I really don't. They continue to push their mVolt. They continue to run ads in local. They continue to run local ads on television for their microgrids, batteries, things like that. So I'm really anxious to see these quarterly results here, but I don't think we've got them yet. I'll look to make sure. I don't want to miss them for you guys and my sake, but I don't think they've released the press release yet. It does not look like they have. All right, that's all right. Yeah, we'll stay in touch for the press release. I'm sure we'll get a press release before the actual earnings call. We're just waiting on it. Anyways, I know people mentioned Nano Dimension here, so I'll bring that up on the chart. And I'm actually curious about this one. I think they have, unless they've bought new businesses, finally, they had a ton of cash. And this again, I mean, it's textbook run throughout 2020, recovering from the pandemic, and then it crashed at the beginning of February, and it's been downtrending ever since then, just like almost every other stock in the stock market that retail investors love. This isn't Nano Dimension specific. This really isn't any company specific. I know when stocks go down, people like to blame management teams, things like that. But the bottom line is, if the market is not in your favor, if the market is not buying your class of stock, the stock price is going to fall regardless of what the management team does. And a good example of that is Shift Technologies. Shift Technologies, I mean, at 349, 347 after hours, they're literally pricing Shift Technologies for bankruptcy pretty much right now. The market cap's probably like 350 to 400 million if I had to guess. And they're going to do over $1 billion in revenue next year, which is just crazy to me. And this is the thing. They've been releasing great news. Great news. They have a new floor plan for $100 million with Ally Financial, finance and everything. People are willing to give this company money, so the fact that it's being priced for bankruptcy right now, practically, is pretty amazing, honestly. But you could say that about a lot of different stocks. Another one is Lifecycle. I've talked about this stock on my channel several times as well. For example, just today, they secured a $50 million equity investment, yet the stock is down more than 6%. So this is the sort of thing. These are two prime examples of two companies where the management team seems to be doing everything right. They're releasing great news. They're continuing to execute, but the share prices continue to crumble. And that's honestly no fault of the management teams, really. Anyways, I'm curious what CleanSpark is up to now. Still up 2.4% after hours. I'm going to go back to the chat here and answer any of you guys' questions. How do I feel about XL Fleet? I know it's been discussed in the past. Interesting but frustrating stock to own the past year. Yeah, I've actually noticed that. XL Fleet has been different than other stocks, but it's been almost more frustrating because XL Fleet, whenever they release news, it's huge news. But the news sends the share price skyrocketing, right? And then the next day, it's down even more than it was up the previous. It's just, this market's just weird to put my finger on, I guess is the way to say it. I mean, I was almost speechless there. Like XL Fleet, they've released 4 or 5 phenomenal news pieces, signed phenomenal new like partnerships and things like that. And then their share price would go up 10, 20. I think it was up 40 or 50% at some points in 2021 before crumbling and crashing back down. Let's see. My name is Jeff said, you holding on to your Lightning E-Motor ZEV shares? I don't recall if I ever bought ZEV. No, I did. You're right. I bought ZEV in my Robinhood account, but I think it was call options. And I sold those call options after Jim Cramer pumped the stock. And I doubled my money on it. So no, I don't own any ZEV right now. I know for sure I don't own any in any of my other accounts either. I see a lot of people saying they've been buying things heavily. And I think, it's the best time to be buying is when you really don't want to buy stocks, right? I mean, it's counterintuitive, but when stocks are down, you don't want to throw more money into the fire pit, for example. I mean, when stocks are going down, your money's literally burning up, you're losing money, whatever you want to say. But usually that ends up being the best time to actually be buying stocks, is when you really don't want to be buying stocks. And sometimes the best time to take profits and sell is when you really don't want to take profits and sell because the market keeps going higher and higher and higher. All right, had to take a drink break because most talking I've done in quite a while. I see a lot of people saying they remember when Cramer pumped ZEV. Yeah, that was something. Okay. Honestly, let me know you guys' thoughts in the chat box on Jim Cramer. Respect to him, he's highly successful, but I gotta give you my honest opinion on Jim Cramer. I cannot believe people tune in every day to listen to him. The amount of times he's flip-flopped on Tesla proves it. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are, so I don't want to talk down a bunch on Jim Cramer. Obviously, he's successful. He's made far more money than I have in the stock market. But I cannot believe people tune in to listen to that guy every day. I don't know. Okay, it looks like most people agree with me, so that makes me feel pretty good. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to go back to the Webull here. And let's go back to the watch list. CleanSpark is just up barely after hours now. Beam Global is up. Looks like most things are up after hours, which is interesting. And at this point, we have that Fed meeting taking place tomorrow. You would think at this point that bad news for these stocks is probably priced in the way they've been trading over the past week or so. It's been brutal. So I think stocks have probably priced in the worst case scenario from the Fed tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. We might get a positive surprise, and these stocks will bounce quite a bit. Who really knows? But after hours right now, everything's looking pretty good. Palantir finished green. This one's been beaten down like crazy. Riot and Mara both finished green. CleanSpark finished red by 1%, which is interesting. Humble was green. AMD, Coinbase. Man, AMD and NVIDIA, those stocks, man, they keep going higher and higher. It's incredible. I remember making I think it was my September stocks to buy video, or it was August or something, and AMD was one of my stocks, and my reasoning for it being one of my stock picks for whatever month it was that it was significantly trailing the performance of NVIDIA. And at the time, I think the stock was trading at like 60, 70 bucks. And I said I thought it would go to 100. It ended up going to 100. But now when I look at it at 135, holy smokes, that is tremendous return in such a short amount of time. It's pretty crazy. I'm going to go back to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's still on the rise here, 48,300. Maybe we're bouncing. I want to get rid of this and get the chart bigger. So this is the 1-year chart here, and I'm no chart expert by any means. But, I mean, if you're thinking big picture here, from the low in July of this year until now, I mean, we're still technically in an uptrend, I guess. I mean, it looks fine. Obviously, when this... Oh, I can't rotate it, I guess. I'll draw a new trend line. But obviously, when, this level broke, it's interesting how, charts play out. But when that broke, I mean, Bitcoin absolutely tanked. When it broke that little trend line here from this bottom to the bottom right here at the end of September, and then recently when it hit this trend line at the beginning of December, it just cratered through it all the way down to, what was it, 42.6. So right now when we're sitting at 48.3 and it's on the rise, I mean, big picture here, the price of Bitcoin looks fine. It looks great. It looks strong. I don't know if we're going to hit the $100,000 by the end of the year. I know a lot of people still think that's going to happen. I don't know what to think. We'll just have to see. Okay, CleanSpark, on the other hand, let's look at this chart quick. 5 years is a little too much. Let's go to the 6-month chart. So we can see our lows at the end of September was in the $10 range. That was a tough time. And then at the end of August, basically, when we were low 10s again, we kind of hit a double bottom there, bounced off of it, and now we're coming back down to maybe a triple bottom. I don't know if we'll go as low as 10. Depends what these earnings are, honestly. The earnings could drastically benefit or hurt the share price of CleanSpark. I really don't know. But this has been tough for CleanSpark. Again, this is basically from January and February. It's been a downtrend with all the other favorite stocks in retail's hands. I mean, it's been no secret. It's been a steady downtrend, which is why this year has been so tough for so many people. But I will tell you, this is going to break. I mean, CleanSpark is not going bankrupt, and I honestly think Bitcoin stocks going into 2022 might be some of the best stocks to own, and that's because of the inflation fears. You know, Bitcoin itself is an inflation hedge, and if the price of Bitcoin increases, also the profitability and the revenue of the mining companies will also increase. And in periods of high inflation, what you want to look for are companies with high margin, profitability, and growing revenue. The mining companies will fit that bill if inflation gets out of hand or continues to be out of hand, whichever way you look at it right now. All right, let me get back to the chat box. Let's see what all you guys are up to. I know I've talked quite a while now. I'm going to take another quick drink. All right, let's see. Captain McObvious is here. I remember Captain McObvious. Dallas Frost, when Bitcoin was at $35,000 earlier this year, CleanSpark was $40. If you believe this company is improving since, then you have no reason not to buy. I agree wholeheartedly with what Dallas just said. And I mean, it's not just CleanSpark. This is like every stock since the end of January, end of February. Every single stock. I shouldn't say every stock, but most stocks right now are in better places as a business than they were in January or February. They're more profitable. They're bringing in more revenues. They're expanding quicker than ever right now. And that's all despite the share price falling down on all of those names. And that's where you can really find some opportunity in the stock market, is when the market is not properly reflecting what a business is doing and how they're growing and whatnot. And that can be said on the upside too. You know, in January and February, it's very possible that the market was overpricing the growth, overpricing the revenues, overpricing the profitability of these companies, which is why we saw a reset. But a saying that I always say, I guess, that sounded weird, but a saying I always say is that every reaction in the stock market is an overreaction. Think about it. Anytime a stock skyrockets one day, it'll come back down. Anytime a stock is down tremendously on a day, it goes back up the next day generally, depending on what obviously the news catalyst is. Let's see. I'm not seeing a whole lot else going. Oh, I want to see what people said about Jim Cramer. I know I bashed him a little bit. Looks like, I'm not alone in my thinking that I'm not a big fan of Jim Cramer. Yeah, okay. Denver Lincoln said he puts it a good way, and I should have said this. Jim Cramer in his show is investment entertainment, not investment insight. That's the issue, I guess, is where people think the Jim Cramer show is investment insight or investment recommendations. It should be more investment entertainment. I know that is counterintuitive to hear me say that, a stock market YouTuber, but it's the same thing. What I say and what I make videos on shouldn't be considered financial or investment advice. I'm just simply sharing my thoughts so that my viewers can come to their own conclusions based off what I said and after they do their own research. Let's see. Mohammed says you probably don't own any CleanSpark, Rex. That's quite a claim there. I can promise you I own CleanSpark shares. Why would I not own CleanSpark? I've staked my entire brand behind it. And if I didn't own CleanSpark shares, why would I still be talking about the stock after it's been absolutely decimated this year? That doesn't make sense. Stock Jockey says, pro tip, when getting an oil change and ask them to change out wiper blades, always ask price ahead of time. $85. There you go. There's pro tip from Stock Jockey. One of the biggest blessings to me is Stock Jockey. If you guys don't know him, he's amazing. He helps me out tremendously with everything. He's very knowledgeable on a lot of different stuff. Okay, let's see. Captain McDavius says, chance for big news on energy side today. It's possible. I'm leaving the door open. I think we're gonna learn a lot of new things really today. I don't think it's gonna be cut and dry, just the revenue numbers or the earnings numbers. I think we're gonna get pieces of news. I really do, because it's not that the news cycle has been dry. It's the fact that I think the company's been more quiet about what they've been doing rather than publicizing everything that's happening for the company. I hope we get updates on, for example, their microgrid and clean energy agreement with CoinMint, as well as their own microgrid on their own mining facility in Atlanta and Norcross, Georgia. But yeah, I am looking forward to hearing some news on the energy side, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. I'll cover this again for those that might not have been here earlier. What analysts anticipate for this quarter is $23.26 million in revenue and 7 cents of positive earnings per share, or EPS. Again, if I had to guess, we're going to beat on the revenue number. I think the revenue number will be closer to 30 million than 20 million. But I think we're going to miss on EPS. I struggle to think we're going to be profitable this quarter. We'll see what happens. I could be wrong. In my personal opinion, I'm looking for $7 to $10 million in energy revenue. The lower, the worse, obviously. The higher, the better. And then from mining, I'm thinking anywhere between $22 and $25 million in mining revenue. So again, I'll repeat it, but I highly suggest you guys write those numbers down so you can see if we beat or miss whatever when the numbers do come out. Analysts expect $23.26 million in revenue and 7 cents positive EPS. All right, let's see. CleanSpark won't do Ethereum since it's moving away from proof of work. Yeah, that's probably true. I would highly doubt CleanSpark is going to start mining Ethereum. Just for the simple fact, Ethereum does have plans to move away from the proof of work, or whatever you call it. Sean Warner says guidance will be very important in my opinion. I completely agree with Sean. That's another catalyst, whether it be negative or positive, is probably their guidance and projections going into 2022. If for some reason the management team doesn't put out guidance or a projection for 2022, that could be a negative catalyst. The markets like to be aware of what the management team is thinking, and generally, if a management team doesn't put out guidance, its stock price doesn't react in a positive way. Wolvie says, how many coins did they mine in this quarter? I can't remember what the number was. I figured it out in my Discord server. I honestly can't remember what it was. See, Michael Reagan's here. Regardless of whatever our ER is, we are undervalued. That's a key point Michael just made in the chat box. Regardless of what our earnings report looks like, we're an undervalued company right now. Regardless of what last quarter looked like, we're undervalued just based on what we're going to do in the future, but also what we've done in the past. And there's a 0% chance we went backwards from last quarter, right? Let's see. Michael says, so I ignored 2021 stock price market cap is stupid low. And absolutely, you can say that about so many different stocks right now. The market caps just don't make sense. And it will happen. It will happen where the market caps do more properly reflect what companies are doing. I see a lot of trash talking from shorts going on stock twits and whatnot. I welcome it, The thing about short sellers is at some point in time, they're going to have to be buyers of the stock, right? If you're short selling, you have to buy the stock at some point in time. So, I encourage short selling. Let's see. I think it can hit $16 tomorrow off positive earnings. Who really knows what could happen? I think it depends a lot on if Bitcoin can retake that 50,000 level, but we'll have to see. Okay. One thing we could do while I'm waiting. What time is it? 3:38, 4:38 Eastern. One thing we can do, and I've done this in videos in the past. I'm gonna bring up forward PE ratios from Yardini Research, and this will basically depict everything you guys have been saying in the chat box. And let me switch to Google here. Hopefully my face cam won't cover too much. I will zoom out. But let's see. This was updated December 13th. And what day? I think today's the 14th. So this was updated yesterday. We haven't gotten today's update. Let's see. Yeah, today's the 14th. But let's look at this. Okay, so here's your forward PE ratios. Let me make sure my camera's out of the way. Large cap forward PEs remain pretty much at 21, and we have to go all the way back to 2002, 2001 to find forward PE ratios on large caps this high. Now, something people mistake is that large cap stock prices don't have to fall in order for this to correct, and it will correct. It always has, always will correct. But the stock prices don't have to fall. They can keep going up or they can remain stagnant while their forward PE ratios fall if their earnings catch up to their share price. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. We're in contrast to mid caps right now, pretty much in line with what we've seen historically. So generally when that's in line with what we've seen historically, you can find some pretty good opportunities in the market. And then small caps is just a whole nother story. This is far below what we've seen historically. And again, this is just reflecting what all of you are saying in the chat box, basically, that large cap valuations are extremely high right now. And again, it doesn't mean that their stock prices have to fall. We're basically waiting to see if their earnings and profitability can catch up to their share prices to bring that forward PE ratio down without their stock price falling. Same thing can be said about small caps. But, we'll have to see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. But I just wanted to cover that quickly. I haven't updated you guys on it recently. All right, let's go back to Webull here, and let's see what is going on after hours. CleanSpark still up 0.6% after hours. Bitcoin is continuing its tremendous run here. 48.6 basically, which is a really good thing. Hopefully that can continue to be strong through our earnings release and our earnings conference call. Hoping for good things there. All right, let me go back to the chat box and catch up with you guys again. All right. Let's see. So somebody Somebody must be mistaken about the price of Bitcoin right now. Or maybe people, let me switch to, I think people are having issues on Yahoo Finance looking at the price of Bitcoin, which is interesting. So I'll bring it up here and see what I see here. So Webull said, oh yeah, that's interesting. That is really interesting. Yahoo Finance must be glitching because Webull is showing really good things for the price of Bitcoin. Yahoo Finance says 32,400, which wouldn't be a good thing. I'm guessing that's a glitch because if it wasn't a glitch, like Marathon and Riot Blockchain would be down significantly after hours. And let's just make sure they're not. As I'm saying that, I might be eating my own words. Yeah, see, Marathon's up 1% after hours. So the Bitcoin mining companies are reflecting the price that Webull and the other brokerages are showing. I'm guessing Yahoo Finance is just glitching for whatever reason right now. But I'll bring up the price of Bitcoin here again, and we'll see if we can retake this $50,000 level. It's going to be a big deal if we can do that. That's going to be big for investor psychology and all those different things. All right. Yeah, people are saying it was a glitch on Yahoo Finance. So thanks for clearing that up. How many more minutes to go, Lee asks. Let's see. The conference call starts. Oh, it's letting me. Conference call starts in 18 minutes, but it's letting me enter my information to get into the call now. So I will do that. Let me flip my screen here so you guys can watch this. My first name, Ben Briggs. My email address, RexFinance at tutanukta.com. Company, CLSK attendees. There we go. All right, let's get into this call. Let's see what it does. All right. Is there music or anything? Oh yeah, there's music. Okay. I don't want the music to be too loud. Oh gosh. I hope that didn't blow anybody's headphones out or stuff like that. Let me know if that was too loud. Or too quiet. It might be too quiet too, but it was certainly loud in my headphones. Just let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to flip back to Webull until... You know what? Okay, let me know in the chat box. Do you want this music in the ears until the conference call starts, or should I mute the music until the conference call starts? Let me know. The music is popping. For now, I am going to mute it because why not? Let me know, though. Let me know. I'm going to switch back to... Let's see. I am on Webull. Okay, we're good. Let me know. Okay, all right. People are saying mute the music. Mute the music. You guys aren't fans of the music. All right, we're gonna have to tell the management team they need to figure out the music. The music matters to us investors. Yeah, people are saying mute it. I muted it. I think I'll double check to make sure I muted it because I don't want to make you guys upset or anything like that. One thing you can tell me, was the music level okay? Was it too quiet, too loud? Because I'm going to have to know that when the management team starts talking. So was the music too loud? Was it too quiet? Let me know. But I'll mute it for now. I see Brooklyn Fit really loved the music, but most people didn't like it. So I'm muting it. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, but I had to mute it. I know you wanted me to bump it up, but I had to mute it. Got to please the masses. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, people were saying the music level was fine. Awesome. Can we have some Rocky Balboa music? I'm getting lots of great music suggestions. Eye of the Tiger. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. I wish I could play this music. Highway to Hell. Wow. Yeah. Gonna Fly Now. Okay, the Rocky theme song. I love it. I'm getting lots of great music suggestions. I promise you I would play them if I wouldn't get copyright striked. But I'm going to get copyright striked, so I'm not going to play it. We're going to have to listen to this violin music. I have it muted. I hear it still, but I have it muted for you guys. People are saying the after-hours price action for CleanSpark is wacky. Let me go look at it again here. Here we go. CleanSpark. Yeah, it really kind of has been wacky where it's been up 2 or 3%, and then it'd be flat, then it'd be up 2 or 3%, then it'd be flat, then it'd be up 1%. It has been wacky. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll switch to, let's go to the 1 month chart so we can see how, our dissension into hell, I guess you could say, over the past month. It will reverse. We'll be on the staircase to heaven. I don't remember what that song is called. Corn Pop asked, am I confident that CleanSpark will be profitable this quarter? If I had to guess, we're not going to be profitable. I've already stated I think we're going to miss on EPS. Right now, analysts expect the quarter to bring positive 7 cents EPS, basically. I think we're going to miss. We're probably going to be unprofitable if I had to guess. Revenue-wise, I think we're going to beat, though. Analysts only expect about $23.26 million in revenue. I think it's going to be closer to $30 million than it will to $20 million. So there's just a quick rundown again. I see a lot of people. Let me tell you, I am honestly super proud of my community. I see so many people here saying this is just a great buying opportunity. I have patience. And maybe it's a testament of the type of investor I attract to my channel, but I see it so often other places. People losing patience, panic selling out, things like that. Whereas you guys, I gotta say, I'm proud of my community. You guys, the vast majority of you are very patient. You see this as great buying opportunities, things like that. And I'm 100% confident in the long run it will have been a great buying opportunity. Who knows when it's going to reverse? But yeah. Let's see. Should I try and get into the conference call and ask a question? That would be kind of cool. Let's see. Anything else in the chat box here that I missed? You guys are spamming the chat box. Thank you so much for coming out. This is amazing, by the way. Also, if you guys are new here, returning and not yet subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. It greatly helps out my channel. We're getting closer to 30,000 subscribers. It's been fun to see my channel grow despite the markets being, the markets. Yeah. Omar Lopez wants a shout out. There's your shout out, Lomar. I said Lomar. I meant Omar. Omar Lopez, shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. People are saying I should ask a question. I don't know what question I would ask. I guess it depends on what information we get. If I have any questions on if we get any news items or things like that. Omar's holding 1,500 shares. Awesome. I have a feeling that you're going to do very well with that position. Not financial advice. Don't sue me. Scooby-Dooby-Doo says, has your view on options changed versus holding the underlying shares? I know you've been hit pretty hard with options. Yeah, that's something, investing is always, if you're not learning, you're failing. In my personal opinion, there's things that Warren Buffett is still learning about the stock market and investing in his old age. He wasn't invested in tech until 3 or 4 years ago. He's still learning about these companies and the way they operate and things like that. And I would say that's something I've learned is not to get too overexposed to options. I think in times like these, options probably deserve a certain percentage of your portfolio just because stocks are down so much. But never to get overextended into call options because, again, if the price doesn't hit, you're pretty much screwed, and there's no other way around it. I wonder if I see people asking about those $60 call options I bought for January. I sold those quite a while ago. I sent the sell alert to my members months ago. I sold out of those. So that money that I put into those call options was purely gamble money. It was money I was willing to lose based on what I thought was going to happen in the stock market. I was wrong. I'll be the first one to admit it. I think most people were wrong. But I sold completely out of those. I think I lost half of my money, which I was okay with because, again, it was just gamble money practically. But I felt that by the end of the year, Bitcoin would be over $100,000, and I felt that CleanSpark would be in a better position as a business than they have ever been. And well, I was right about that part. I wasn't right about the price of Bitcoin. So unfortunately, that did not happen. So I sold those at a loss practically. We're still waiting on this webcast to start. I will keep you guys updated. I still don't see a press release or anything on the earnings, but I will keep an eye on it like I've been saying. Okay, let's see. Let's see. How old is the guy talking? The guy talking, I assume, would be in reference to this guy. I am 20 years old. 20 years, 6 months. No, 20 years, 7 months. 20 years, 7 months, and 20 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. That's how old I am. People are saying the stream crashed. Let's see. Is the stream okay? Stream is buffering for people. Is it? Let me know if it's still off. Is it getting better? I can pull it up on my phone to see if we're in a bad place right now. Let's see. Oh, people are saying the stream's fine. Okay, I just saw people saying the stream was crashing and whatnot. So I just wanted to make sure. By the way, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could share this with the CleanSpark Stock Twits page, the Facebook group. If you're in my Discord server, sending the links there, whatnot. As far as I know, the CleanSpark website is still down, and most people are not able to access the conference call, but I do have access to it. So we're going to be able to listen to it here. And so, yeah, please share this link because it's not easy for me to do while I'm talking to you guys. People are saying they lost connection for about 5 seconds. I apologize for that. I have no idea what that was. Maybe just a hitch in the internet. Let's see. AJ asks, why was hash rate the same October, November 1st? Probably because they didn't deploy any miners over that time span. I don't know. Wow, Joe says he owns 25,000 shares of stock. Congratulations on that, on your success, Joe. That's pretty phenomenal. Congratulations on that. This is like a CleanSpark Shareholders Anonymous meeting. Okay, investor Sheik asks, will CleanSpark be a billion-dollar company? I think you could ask anybody that's a bull right now, and they would say that they feel that CleanSpark should probably be a billion-dollar company. If they were fairly valued, that is. Who knows when that'll happen. Mohammed's asking me to show how many shares I am owning of CleanSpark. I am not going to share that information, just for my personal privacy. I'm probably not going to be sharing my portfolio other than maybe once or twice a year going forwards. That's just something I've learned. I mean, you know, I probably posted a little too much about my portfolio over the last year or so, like in 2020. And I don't want to be the guy that like comes off as boastful or I don't know. Like, for example, in January when our stocks were at highs, I uploaded 3 videos total. And in February, I uploaded 5 videos total. So in total, over those 2 months, I uploaded 8 videos when our stocks were at highs. You know, it's kind of counterintuitive, but I like to be uploading videos and interacting with you guys when stocks are at lows and people are in pain, because that's when I feel like I can be of most benefit to you guys. I don't feel like I'm benefiting you if I just show off my portfolio and stuff like that, but that's just my personal opinion. I see Ashley's in here. Ashley, how you doing? It's been a while since I've talked to you, Ashley. Ashley said last earnings they had to report Bitcoin as a loss. Will that change with current earnings and boost revenue because of that? I'm not entirely sure. Depends. God, it's tough. I don't know if they're going to be profitable or not. I know they've sold some Bitcoin, which will help out their profitability, but I don't know what to think. I don't. If I had to guess, we're still going to be unprofitable. I think, I don't know. We're just going to see the numbers. I don't know what to think. DJ Gadley says he owns 2,400 shares. That's awesome. Let's see. Okay, people are saying the website is back up. Let me try and get into the CleanSpark website here. By the way, I see all of you guys posting the link to this stream on all the forums and stuff. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let me switch to Google, and I will see. No, okay, never mind. The CleanSpark website is still not loading for me. Maybe it's loading for some of you. But I guess I'll stay on Webull until this conference call starts. By the way, I have it in my ear. I'm listening to that violin music. So I will know when it starts, and I'll switch over to it, and I'll unmute it. Let's see. Rolla is my roommate. People are saying put the music back in. I'll turn it back on when the actual earnings call starts. Yeah, there you go. Jason Sparks, that's exactly what that's exactly what I'm thinking. If you need somebody's portfolio to buy a stock, you're not doing it right. I agree with that. Okay, it looks like we lost the connection again. Hopefully that doesn't happen too often during the actual conference call. It's showing me I have excellent connection in YouTube, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. I apologize, though. I really don't know what is going on with the internet, because throughout this whole time, it keeps saying I have excellent connection. We'll see, though. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, people are saying the stream keeps dying. I apologize for that. Let me see if it's up on my phone. Let's see. I can't tell if you guys can see me or not. People are saying it's on YouTube's side. Is YouTube having issues? Because it is showing me I have excellent connection right now. I apologize. That's really going to suck if that happens during the call. So some people are saying they can see me. Some people can't see me right now. I'm kind of confused. It must be on YouTube's side, because again, I'm seeing excellent connection in my YouTube. And on my phone, it wasn't loading, but at the same time, I was seeing people in the chat box saying that they could see me. So it must just be a YouTube glitch. I really apologize for it. I really hope it doesn't do that during the earnings call, because that's pretty annoying. Okay, so people are texting me that they can see my stream too. So it must be a YouTube issue. I really don't know what's going on. Again, I apologize for it. It's really quite annoying. This whole time, it's telling me I've had excellent connection, so I don't really know what to think. People are saying SFT is tanking. Yeah, SFT has been tanking all year, right along all the other stocks in the stock market. It's kind of been a bummer, but we'll have to see. People are saying it's cutting in and out. Okay. Let me try something. I am going to go here. Really hope this doesn't have any issues. I'm going to close out a Webull. So the call should be starting soon. I'm going to reload the page just cuz. And I'm going to switch switch to the page here. And okay, so the call still has not started. I don't know. Hopefully this issue corrects itself. Says people are saying it's cutting in and out. I don't know what's going on. I think we've narrowed it down that it's a YouTube issue, not on my side. But I do apologize for it. All right. Let's see. Okay, people are... Oh, shoot. I did not mean to open that. Oh. Here comes the conference call. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to mute myself. In the chat box, let me know if it's too loud, too quiet. Thank you. Oh, okay, never mind. They just announced that they're behind schedule or something, but that's all right. I still have it in my ear. When they start talking, we will switch over to it. And throughout the call, I will butt in every once in a while. I'll stay out of it for the most part. If I have any comments that I feel I need to make, I'll butt in quick and do so. So people are saying Meet Kevin's live stream is also cutting in and out. So clearly it's not on my side. I do apologize. Let's see. Yeah, people keep bringing up SFT. SFT obviously is one of my most confident investments right now. And there's no really saying when SFT and all these other stocks are going to recover. There is saying that it is going to happen. I mean, we know it's going to happen. We just don't know when. Still just music in my ears. They must just be a little behind still. I don't really know. All right. That was the last of my drink, so hopefully I don't have to talk too much longer. Come on, CleanSpark, you're wearing me out here. 3 minutes late. What the heck? Let's see. I see somebody spamming Rex made me a millionaire. I started with $1 billion. You know, that happens. Hopefully you'll be a 10 billionaire. Thank you, Vitali, for doing that, by the way. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I think, let's see. I think I have, so Vitali's in here. He's a moderator. I'm going to give Drew moderator. And yeah, I think I have enough moderators in here now. We're still waiting for this stinking call to start. Hopefully soon. We're still waiting. Just for evidence, there's the music that so many of you hate. Still waiting patiently for it. Let's see. Yeah, Investor Chic is saying, hopefully CleanSpark doesn't pull a tattooed chef and delay earnings for a week. Yeah, that was bad for TTCF. That was bad. Man, it looks like YouTube cut out again. I hope they figure their crap out. I just got a text from somebody that YouTube cut out again for him. Man, that's annoying. Hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. Still waiting for the conference call. Come on, CleanSpark. Yeah, people are saying, I see a lot of people saying it's cutting in and out for him. I really hope that stops. But I also see people saying, like, Meet Kevin's stream keeps crashing, so. And it's still telling me I have excellent connection in YouTube Studio. I really don't know what's going on. Oh, I think the song just ended. Nope, they started a new song. Never mind. I'll go back to muting it. So I have it pulled up on my phone right here, and the stream looks fine. But then I see some people commenting that it's cut out for them and they can't see it at the same time that I'm able to see it on my phone. This is super frustrating. I'm sure it's super frustrating for you guys as well. I'll leave this stream up for replay. Hopefully it won't be glitchy on the replay. Let's see. We'll have to see though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. All I can say is YouTube, fix your crap, because we got a conference call to listen to. Yeah, I mean, the stream's still fine on my phone. I'll quit worrying about it because I don't think there's anything I can do. No point in worrying about something you can't change. I appreciate, again, all of you guys coming out to watch this earnings call with me and hear my thoughts on it as it happens. Again, if you're new here, returning, not yet subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the like button. It helps me out tremendously and pushes it to other YouTube channels that might be interested in CleanSpark. That's interesting. Eric just said it's not just YouTube. All kinds of glitches happening online right now with CoinMarketCap, Yahoo Finance, Binance, etc. And then not too long ago, wasn't it Amazon Web Services that was down big? Yeah, that's weird. That is weird. I really apologize for this. If I could fix it, I would. Man, that's almost kind of concerning. I mean, if like the infrastructure of the internet's kind of getting hit right now. Ryan Burton says, Jedi Rye guy here, Rex's best Discord member. Anyone looking at KULR? Anybody looking at KULR? I know Dead Inside's a big fan of that one. I'll show you guys again. We're just hearing music, waiting for the call to start. I'll mute it again, though. Oh, I think we're starting.
Good afternoon and welcome to the
Let me know if it's too loud, too quiet, etc.
Earnings call. All participants will be in listen-only mode.
I'm going to mute myself for now.
Please signal a conference specialist by pressing the star key followed by 0. After today's presentation, there will be an opportunity to ask questions. If you are at your computer, please use the Submit Question box in your webcast viewer. Please note, this event is being recorded. I would now like to turn the conference over to Rachel Silverstein, VP of Compliance and General Counsel. Please go ahead.
Welcome, everyone. On behalf of CleanSpark, Inc., I welcome you to our 4th fiscal quarter and year-end financial results conference call. My name is Rachel Silverstein. I am CleanSpark's VP of Compliance and General Counsel. With us today with prepared remarks are CleanSpark's Chief Executive Officer, Zach Bradford.
Is the audio good?
And Matt Schultz,
too loud,
our
too
Executive
quiet?
Chairman. Before beginning, I would like to remind everyone that with the exception of historical information, the matters discussed in this presentation are forward-looking statements as defined by federal securities laws. Investors are cautioned that these forward-looking statements involve a number of risks and uncertainties. Forward-looking statements may include words such as anticipate, could, estimate, intend, expect, believe, potential, will, should, project, and similar expressions. Further information on the company's risk factors is contained in the company's quarterly and annual reports filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Today, December 14th, 2021, the company will be filing its Form 10-K, which will be available on sec.gov and the company's website shortly. A press release announcing our financial results is also being issued. Participants on this call may wish to review the press release as the company included a summary of the results discussed on this call. Finally, please note that on today's call, management will refer to non-GAAP financial measures in which CleanSpark excludes certain expenses from its GAAP financial results. Please refer to CleanSpark's press release and 10-K, which contain a full discussion of this information and a reconciliation of its non-GAAP performance measures to the most comparable GAAP financial measures. The press release will also be available on our website. Following the prepared remarks, we will open for a short Q&A for the analyst community. With that said, I would like to turn the call over to our Executive Chairman, Matt Schultz.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our call. I want to start off the call by thanking my colleagues for all the work they've done to round out a terrific year of growth. We're in the middle of the holiday season, and our teams have worked tirelessly to prepare for today's call. What a way to end the year, and what a year it's been. I'll now turn it over to Zach Bradford, CleanSpark's CEO, to discuss our results in detail.
Hey, thanks, Matt. And I want to echo your words. Our team has put in a lot of work, and I'm thankful for their commitment. I'm going to provide a summary of our results in more detail later in the call, but I want to take a quick moment to discuss some of our significant fourth quarter and year-end highlights. Our revenue grew from $10 million to $49.4 million. That's nearly a 400% growth. And our adjusted EBITDA, which we believe provides an important measure of our performance, resulted in a non-GAAP net income for the year of approximately $9 million. That ultimately was 31 cents per share, compared on the same basis to a $1.07 loss per share for the same period in the prior year. We also achieved our projected revenue with almost $50 million for the year. CleanSpark is a Bitcoin miner. Bitcoin mining is our primary business segment in terms of revenue, our most efficient in terms of cost and margin, and our most important in terms of maximizing value for our shareholders. As of today's filing, our hash rate is approximately 1.3 exahash. Our calendar year-to-date Bitcoin production as of the end of November,
I'm confused on that revenue number, if it's for the quarter or the year.
And we have over 40 megawatts of machines operating.
I'm guessing the year. But
based upon industry measures, we believe we are incredibly undervalued as a Bitcoin mining company. We are rapidly growing and even outpacing many of our competitors. This growth is backed by our strategy of smart, sustainable growth, which includes taking steps to limit dilution
it was
to our
the year.
shareholders.
I'm stupid.
Our hash rate growth over the past quarter is consistently among the top of publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies. We believe the market is just catching on and will soon recognize and close what we see as a market value gap. We believe that our continued performance is what will help us close that gap. We're laser focused on shareholder value. One way we do this is by using some of our Bitcoin we hold to fund operations and growth. We are pursuing non-dilutive growth capital such as debt. We also expect to take advantage of opportunities in the coming year to generate greater yields from the Bitcoin we hold on the balance sheet. So our College Park facility is the highlight of our Bitcoin mining operations. Senior Vice President of Data Center Operations, Bernardo Schuchman, one of the world's leading Bitcoin miners, and his exceptional team have accomplished tremendous things in Atlanta, including the deployment of 48 custom-designed mobile data centers. Over the next few months, we will be ramping up our Norcross facility. We've recently announced the purchase of 20 megawatts of immersion cooling equipment.
Really good.
And we've designed
really good reaction
a
to
new
this earnings
microgrid
so
for
far.
that facility. The energy business has been foundational to our accomplishments. Now, our energy revenues were essentially flat year over year, and it's been a challenging year for the energy industry as a whole. But we believe the way to drive the greatest increase in value to our shareholders is by applying our energy expertise into sustainable Bitcoin mining. Now, we are deploying advanced technologies like renewable energy assets and immersion cooling to make our operations more efficient. Now, efficiency is key, and these efficiency enhancements are expected to increase production and decrease operating costs at all of our facilities. As an added benefit, these systems are also expected to extend the life of our machines so that our capital goes further to generate better returns for our shareholders. Now, I'm going to turn to review a little more details on our fourth quarter and fiscal year-end financial results. After which, we'll open it up for a brief Q&A, and I'll conclude with a few final remarks. So, at a summary level of the financial side, I'm going to keep it focused pretty high level and specifically around key performance indicators that we've identified. Please refer to our 10-K for our complete financial statements. Our 2021 annual revenue, as I mentioned, grew from $10 million to $49 million, representing a 5x increase in revenue from our prior year. We expect that this growth will continue into next year as CleanSpark expands its mining capabilities as we deploy more miners and seek out additional energy opportunities. As for the ultimate operating results, our GAAP-based net loss improved by $1.5 million from a loss of $23.3 million last year to $21.8 million in 2021. Overall, these results.
They'll give more
led to a
commentary on the
GAAP-based net
individual
loss
business
per
segments
basic
later,
per
I'm
share
sure.
of 74 cents. That's an improvement of $1.70 per share compared to last year. Now, a large portion of our losses in the current year, they were based on non-cash items. As mentioned before, we believe an important measure of performance is adjusted EBITDA, a non-GAAP metric that reconciles this. Now, our non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA for the year was approximately $9 million in income, or 31 cents per share. That's a significant improvement from last year. Now, our improvements, both on a GAAP and non-GAAP basis, are encouraging, and we are taking steps to further streamline our operations, and we expect to achieve even stronger results for our shareholders in the coming year. Now, as part of this, I think it's important to highlight our quarter-over-quarter revenue growth, which was incredible. Revenues for the 3 months ended September 30th, 2021 was $27.1 million. This is an increase of $25.2 million, or nearly a 1,300% increase from $1.9 million for the same quarter just a year ago.
That's what I expected.
Now, as for our balance sheet and operating capital, it's significantly improved from the prior year. Just a couple highlights. We had a cash balance at the end of the year of $18 million and a book value of Bitcoin of $23.6 million. Now, this resulted in working capital of $47.6 million. The company's total liabilities were only $11.7 million. Now, our net assets were $305.7 million. This means we grew our net assets by a factor of over 19 times since the start of this fiscal year. We are ecstatic about the strength of our balance sheet and the strong foundation it has created for growth into 2022. I also want to highlight a few additional items specific to our mining assets that we believe are going to drive our growth. At the end of our fiscal year, we had $123.2 million in mining equipment, the majority of which was fully installed and hashing. In addition to the miners that we had on hand, we also have prepaid an additional $87.9 million for mining equipment. Subsequent to our fiscal year end, we've received over 4,400 additional miners. The new machines received and ordered will further increase our production capabilities and revenues in the coming quarter. CleanSpark, like all companies holding substantial amount of digital currency, we're required to measure impairment to the value of Bitcoin pursuant to U.S. accounting rules. As a result, we did book a loss on impairment of Bitcoin of $6.6 million for the year. Now, what this means, so although the book value of Bitcoin under U.S. GAAP was $23.6 million, the fair market value on the very same date was $27.5 million. Now, lastly, I'd like to share that we have a substantial number of machines plugged in and ready to go. We are just waiting the final commissioning process to energize additional mobile data centers, and when that occurs in the next few weeks, we expect to see an immediate and substantial jump in our hash rate. Now, I'm going to hand things back to Rachel, and she's going to handle the Q&A portion of our call.
Thank you, Zach. We've received several questions from the analyst community that we will now address prior to closing. First question, how is the hash rate growth compared to our prior forecasts, and do you anticipate any challenges?
I'll go ahead and take that one, Zach. This is Matt. As a high-growth company, challenges are commonplace. How we face those challenges is what matters. And we believe that our proactive approach to energy management and the subsequent access to mining rigs to be deployed and energized on a just-in-time basis give us a unique competitive advantage. We've found opportunities to purchase equipment to consume the energy available as it comes online. And as Zach mentioned in his comments, we have 48 mobile mining centers currently installed and deployed at our College Park, Georgia facility. Over the next few weeks, those will all be coming online, and we expect to keep our revenue and Bitcoin production targets as we've discussed in prior guidance. Thanks for that question.
Thank you, Matt. Second question. Industry reports indicate that immersion cooling allows the miners to operate above the label hash rate. Does the company anticipate the ability to overclock the rigs at Norcross?
I'm going to go ahead and take that one. This is Zach. Immersion cooling, we're extremely excited about. Now, I'm sure, the way the question was posed, many people have read about immersion cooling and the exciting things that you can do. As I mentioned earlier, it's all about efficiency. Now, I want to address what overclock really means for those of you that don't know. What overclock means is you're able to push the machines at a faster rate of processing than the manufacturer label on it. Now, the reason you're able to do so is because you're able to control the heat around it. That's really a limiting factor when it comes to miners and how quick they can process and how hard you can push them. It's all about heat transfer. When you immerse them in a liquid, this liquid, of course, is a non-conductive material from an electricity point of view. The heat transfer is much more efficient, which means you can push them harder because you don't have to worry about them overheating. So now to turn back to the question, do we think we're going to be able to overclock them? Absolutely. We're really excited about some of the developments. For the 19 series that we're going to be putting in that facility, overclocking is still being developed, so we don't quite know if we're going to be able to push them, exactly what the percentage improvement is, but we know we're going to be able to push them further. We also know they're going to last longer and the maintenance costs are going to be lower. So this is a really big gain for us, and we're really excited about it. Thanks for that question.
Thank you, Zach. Third question. CleanSpark took the position of selling Bitcoin for expansion to avoid dilution. In retrospect, was this the best decision, and does the company expect to continue this practice?
Hey, I'm going to take that one again. This is Zach. Now, Matt and I are two of the largest individual shareholders in the company. And so just like all of our shareholders, we're extremely conscious of dilution. And, our belief is it was absolutely the right move. If you think about Bitcoin mining, we're here to generate value. But if you never turn that into a useful asset or additional growth, it's just a number on a balance sheet. So rather than add additional dilution to our shareholders through another equity raise or things like that, we really think it's important to take other steps, such as selling and monetizing the Bitcoin, but also, we're going to pursue other things like debt. Now, anything that protects our shareholders from dilution, we see as a positive thing. Because again, I said this in our last call, it's all about generating earnings per share. And I say this a lot. If we have lower shares outstanding than our peers, I'm just going to use simple math. Let's just say one of our peers has 3 times as many shares outstanding. That means, in simple math, they have to be 3 times larger and produce three times the amount of income to produce the same earnings per share. We are here to deliver value to our shareholders. And one of the ways and one of the levers we can pull to do that is by limiting dilution and using the Bitcoin we have on our balance sheet as an asset. And assets are there to be used for everybody's benefit, and growth is what we're pursuing right now. Therefore, it's the highest value for us to use.
I like
Thanks,
that.
Zach.
I like that answer.
Next question. Does CleanSpark use green energy or traditional energy resources?
This is Zach. I'll go ahead and take that one again. We use both. And anything that touches the traditional power grid right now uses both. But we are focused on renewable and clean energy as our base source. Now, at each of our facilities, we have different mixes, and we have a very high concentration of renewables. And in addition to that, we're participating in programs so that currently any amount of power we're using for Bitcoin mining that is not in a renewable or clean impact it's being offset by renewable energy credits that we're buying. So, the only reason, just to be frank, that we haven't already come out and said we're 100% renewable is because we're basically we're working with independent professionals to get it independently verified. We think it's important that, there's data behind statements. And so when we're done with these reports and this data, we'll be putting it out there. But we're really taking steps, and we're really close to being able to make those claims out in the public.
Thank you, Zach. In megawatt equivalency, roughly how many megawatts are expected to come online in the next few weeks?
This is Zach again. I can answer that question. It's going to be about 23 megawatts of power that's going to be coming online at the College Park facility. We also expect an additional 5 megawatts to be coming online in the next few weeks with one of our partners. So it's, and I'm using round numbers here, it's going to be about 28 megawatts of total power coming online over the next couple weeks.
This will be our final question, Zach. What are the potential difficulties in getting the miners online as you receive them and as you receive the scheduled shipments from now until September 2022?
I'll go ahead and take that one, Rachel. Thanks. This is Matt. So the difficulties or challenges have really been surrounding the availability of igniting and energizing the circuits. We've got a world-class team of miners, and as Zach mentioned in his earlier comments, and we've talked about many times publicly, Bernardo and his team have been personally responsible for the mining of more than 50,000 Bitcoin. So when it comes to the proper personnel and the proper approach, we really have that covered. What our challenges have been, and we've been fortunate that we've been proactive in the approach, but like what we talked about with regard to College Park, we've got a series of circuits that will be energized, and that's just a process with regards to not only the final approval by the city and the utility, but then the commissioning of those circuits. And when you turn on that much power at once, they ignite one system or one circuit at a time to measure and ensure that everything is falling within the specifications. So we really feel like our approach of energy first has set us apart, and so we don't anticipate being impacted by supply chain and some of those other concerns. Earlier in the year, we saw delays in receiving Ethernet cables or receiving power cords to support that equipment. But again, being proactive and preparing for that in advance allowed us to have that equipment available and online in order to hit the benchmarks we talked about. So we feel really confident about the guidance we've given and expect to continue on that trajectory. Thanks for that question and appreciate everyone.
Thanks, Matt. That concludes our Q&A, and I'll now turn it over to Zach for closing remarks.
Hey, thank you, Rachel. Now, I just want to briefly conclude by wishing all of our listeners very happy holidays, especially our employees and shareholders. It's been a really great year for CleanSpark. Our financial results continue to trend upwards. Our revenue growth is strong, and we have a clear understanding of how to improve our costs. Now, we're a Bitcoin miner. We believe in the work we're doing, not only for the value it provides our shareholders, and make no mistake, it's extremely profitable, but also for the value it provides for growing energy generation in our communities and access to financial well-being for users worldwide. What we are doing here is nothing less than building the infrastructure of the new economy. Our shareholders and employees, many of which are shareholders, by the way, are all part of that. Happy holidays, and thanks everybody for joining our call.
Before we end today's earnings call, I would like to remind everyone that this call will be available for replay later today.
All right. So I'm going to give a quick recap because I know some of you missed some or all the call pretty much. It was pretty quick. I don't know if the SEC filing has come out yet. But I will be going into the SEC filing and posting it for my members. If you're a member, if not a member, and you want to become a member, hit the join button down below or my Patreon. But I'm going to give a quick recap here. For the quarter, they had $27 million in revenue, which is about what I expected. I anticipated between 27 and 30 million, basically. So it was on the low end, and obviously, being on the low end, it's not as exciting. But for the year, they did 49.4 million in revenue, which is tremendous growth. And quarter over quarter, we grew at over 1,000% revenue growth. Everything's looking great. On a non-GAAP basis, our net income for the year was $9 million, and which equates to 31 cents earnings per share. So all that was good stuff. Zach also mentioned their intention to stay away from dilution as much as possible, and that can be by utilizing debt, earning some yield on their Bitcoin they hold on their balance sheet, stuff like that. And I also see in the chat, people were a little bit worried that we're not going to hit 2 exahash by the end of the year. They didn't make any mention of that. I would anticipate we're going to meet and or exceed that 2 exahash by the end of this year. And currently we're at about 1.4, I would guess. So there's tremendous growth that's going to happen over the next, 3 weeks or so. And the reason I think we might actually exceed that is because of all the spot miners that the company has purchased recently. I also thought it was interesting that the company is going to get independent verification that they are 100% carbon free with their mining. I think that's a big deal, and I've honestly wanted more, if not all, mining companies to do this. And this is really a prime example of Michael Saylor's group of Bitcoin mining companies. Sure, they can be all talk, okay, we're going to go carbon free by this much, by this date. But if you get independent verification on that, that's really all that matters. You can be all talk, no show, or as my dad says, I'm a third generation farmer, whatever, all hat, no cattle, right? So the fact they're getting independent verification that they are 100% carbon free with their mining, I love that. I think it's going to be a big catalyst moving forward. They also briefly talked about their new strategy using immersion cooling for their miners at their Norcross facility. CleanSpark is really one of 2 mining companies that has outwardly stated they're going to be doing this, the other being Riot Blockchain. You can read into immersion cooling all you want. I'll just give you a quick rundown. Basically, you gut all the miners, not gut them completely, but take the fans out of them, and then you submerge them in a mineral-like fluid, I guess you could say, a compound fluid. I don't know the technicals there. I'm not a scientist. But the cooling is much more efficient, and therefore you're able to overclock the miners, basically get them mining more Bitcoin than they probably should be able to. And again, the reason for this is because the immersion cooling is more efficient than the traditional air cooling of miners, which is also very, very noisy and loud. Immersion cooling is silent, it's efficient, it's effective. I'm looking forward to hearing more on that immersion cooling. Overall, I would give this quarter, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but at the same time, the company delivered tremendous results, despite what my own thought process was with this quarter. And when the 10K comes out, I'm really interested in seeing what the energy side business revenue looked like for the quarter. I know they mentioned it was flat, which is really, really interesting to me. I expected some pretty big growth there, so I'm a bit disappointed on that front. I'll look into it some more. Maybe I will give Matthew Schultz a call about it and see what he says, and then update you all on YouTube or in the Discord server. People are saying the 10K is out. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the 10K then. I pretty much covered all of the relevant information in the earnings call. If I missed anything, feel free to post about it in the chat box. But we're going to look at the 10K here. If I can get their dang website to load. And maybe something I can do instead is go to StockTwits and try and get to the 10K through StockTwits. Let's see. There should be a link. This should take me to the 10K. Man, this website's a mess. I wish I could get the actual... Oh, here we go. Here's what we can do. Nope, not doing that. We're going to find a link to this 10K. Right now their website isn't loading, but I'm going to be going through their numbers if I can get access to their 10K. We might have to go... We're going to have to find a back way in, I guess, because it is not being friendly, their website. But I will get in. And yes, the conference call is over. It was pretty quick. I wonder if the NASDAQ website has their... Nope, they don't have it up yet. Maybe we can get to it through here. Here we go. Maybe? Got it. All right, we got the 10K now. Let's go through this really, really quickly. Most important, obviously the balance sheet, income statement, all of those items. So let's go ahead and scroll down through this. I typically read through all of this, but I'm not going to bore you all with that. I'm just going to look at the numbers quickly here. If I can get to it. Let's see. I always hate how they bury the income statement and balance sheet all the way down here. Come on. It's going to be here somewhere. Nope. We're getting close, though. I don't think I passed it anyway. Here we go. All right, here's the balance sheet. This is what we are looking for. All right. Current assets is $18 million, up from $3 million last year. Obviously, a pretty big deal there. I'm sorry, cash, not current assets. The cash is up pretty significantly there. Total current assets is $57.7 million. That's up tremendously. So asset-wise, we're looking really good. $317.5 basically million dollars in assets. That's tremendous growth, obviously, from the $22 million. And I remember when last year's 10K came out and the $22 million was significant. Another thing you have to think about right now, at $317.5 million in total assets, the market cap is almost just equivalent to the amount of assets the company has. And in relation to the liabilities, only 11.7, pretty much non-existent. It's easy to say that this company is undervalued, but again, you can argue that for about every other stock out there that retail investors love. Oops, I keep clicking things I don't want to click. My apologies. Long-term liabilities, we just looked at that. Nothing there. Let's see. Here's the revenues. So digital currency mining revenue was 38.8 for the year. Energy was $9 million for the year. In 1.6 in other services. So other services is like their P2K Labs, which, I'm still confused why they own that business. But $9 million in energy, flat year over year. But in relation to last quarter, I'm guessing that the energy revenue grew quite a bit. I'm going to have to find the actual quarterly numbers. Let's see. People are saying they don't have any liquidity. You don't know how to calculate. They certainly have liquidity. They have Bitcoin that they can sell. They can get debt backed by their assets, by their mining rigs, by the Bitcoin they own, that sort of thing. They have liquidity. Anyways, let's see. Here are the cash flows from operating activities. Stock-based compensation total for the year was $8.5 million. I know some people were interested in seeing that. Okay. Anyways, I don't generally look at those numbers too closely. Let's go ahead and do a Control F and see if we can do find any specifics on stock-based compensation. So there's 16 items on this. Let's go to the top. Stock-based compensation for consulting was $2.3 million. Stock-based compensation and related bonuses for the year ended September 30th was 7.7. We just covered that. Okay, all of that's good. Let's keep moving through this. Stock-based compensation doesn't seem like it was, I don't think there was any hardly this quarter, but I could be wrong. Keep looking at this. Let's see. The company recognized $3.8 million and $3.6 million for the years ended September 30th, 2021 and 2020, respectively, in stock-based compensation under the stock-based incentive compensation plans. When all considering this number here, these numbers here really aren't that much compared to a lot of the other Bitcoin mining companies, especially. So I'm going to try and find the, the energy-specific revenue for this quarter. Oh, man. There's a lot of results here. Energy segment, I don't figure they'll list the revenues there. Someone here, they give a breakdown of each of their business segments and how much revenue they brought in. Maybe I'll just try and scroll quickly through this and see if my eyes can catch it. No, not that. This is interesting, though. Number of Bitcoins held, 627. Value per coin, 37,000. Fair market value. Interesting. That's interesting how they account for that. Carrying value, I would assume, is the book value per the coin. So their average price of when they mined it, and then the fair market value is what the coins are worth now, obviously. Okay. I see Matt said it's $5 million for Q4 energy revenue. Okay. I haven't found that, but $5 million for Q4 energy revenue. That's up significantly from last quarter, so I can't complain necessarily there. I would have liked to see it more. My anticipation was $7 to $10 million in energy revenue. Obviously, I was quite a bit off there. But, $5 million in energy revenue, at least. I think last quarter, if I remember right, they had just over $2 million in energy revenue. But, I'd have to go back and look again. I believe that's what it was, though. I'm trying to find the area where they break down the revenues per business segment, because that's always interesting to me. Not there. No. I think we're getting close. Sometimes they'll even list out what Solar Watt Solutions in particular did for revenue for them. Maybe I passed it. I promise you, it's in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. I think this is what I was looking for. Okay, they reported it a little bit different this time. So they didn't give specifics on Solar Watt or ATL or, specifically. So for the year, it was $9 million, actually down slightly year over year, but again, up significantly quarter over quarter. Look for that to continue to happen. Digital currency mining revenue, obviously, we didn't have any last year because our first acquisition was in December. $38.8 million in digital currency mining is pretty respectable. In total, that would be $47.8 million in revenue, which I think was in line with their guidance, but I don't remember for sure. Consolidated revenue is $49.4. There you go. Profit. Let's see. So obviously, digital currency was profitable. Energy business. Okay, this is good to see. That the energy business is headed towards profitability. Last year, the energy business revenue was $9 million. I hope I'm reading this right. This is a little bit confusing to me. But last year, the revenue was $9 million, and this year it was $9 million. But we only lost $8 million on energy revenue this year versus $13.5 million last year. That's good to see, right? We want to see them continue to take these steps towards profitability. Let's see. Matt says 4.9 to 5 in Q1 to Q3 energy revenue, so 4.1 in Q4 is pretty disappointing. I wouldn't say it was disappointing personally, but that's up for debate, I guess. Okay, here's the assets. Segment assets, $271 million basically. in assets attributable to digital currency mining, and about 17.5 attributable to the energy business. I see a lot of people freaking out about nothing really. I don't know what people are freaking out about here. Free fall. I wonder what the stock is at. Down 3.39%. I wouldn't necessarily call that a free fall. 3.47. We're in the $11 range. Obviously moving down. CleanSpark in the past hasn't had necessarily positive reactions to their earnings. Nick says, man, the spin here is insane. Okay, down 4% now after hours. And this could be, and I prefaced this at the beginning of this live stream, it could have to do with, the original investors that invested in CleanSpark for their microgrids selling out, like panic selling out because they bought in to be invested into a microgrid company. And if the revenues aren't meeting their expectations on the energy side, well, they're just going to sell out and go buy STEM or Enphase or Tesla, for example. We're almost down 6% now, so this is going very bad. I'm assuming we're getting some stop losses being hit after hours. Let's see. Marco says CleanSpark didn't have a positive reaction to earnings. You wonder why. I mean, they had good revenue numbers, and honestly, the stock was up earlier. Stock was up earlier. This is the market for you. Money has no feelings. Why are you so attached to CleanSpark? I am not attached to CleanSpark. And that's something I actually preach, is that leave your emotions out of investing. Right now I see so many people freaking out in the comments section. The stock is down 8%. But the reason they're freaking out is because they're excited when the stock is up 5%, 6%, 8% on any given day. Emotions have no place in investing or business decisions. Because then you make stupid decisions, and there's going to be somebody that presses the sell button at the low. It's going to be somebody, and they're probably going to regret it. It always happens. I'm not recommending doing anything. If you're not happy with this quarterly report, sell out of your stock. If you're happy with it and see a buying opportunity here, I would say go ahead and load up because we're down 8% after hours now. Marvin says this is not the market. Marvin, would you like to look at the most retail favorite investor stocks throughout the year? The charts look pretty much identical. It's the market. Most companies are getting beat up after their earnings reports. It's the market. It's the market. In fact, I can't think of one stock that was up significantly after their earnings. It's the market. Somebody asked, where did the supposed solar watt revenue go? I'm guessing that was included in the energy revenue. It didn't appear that they were reporting it as segmented anymore. Like, they are reporting it segmented between energy and Bitcoin, but they're not segmenting within the energy segment, if that makes sense. It's them growing costs faster than revenues. I'm not sure where you're seeing that, Marvin. Their revenues were up over 1,000% quarter over quarter. Yeah, companies with no positive EPS are getting beat up indeed. Yes, I mean, that's almost all. Again, I can't think of a single stock that was up significantly after earnings this quarter, this earnings season, I should say. And honestly, right now, anytime you report earnings, people set stop losses and stuff like that. I'm guessing that's kind of what has happened here after hours. I wouldn't be surprised to see this rebound a little bit or even fall a little bit further if people freak out. Let's see. Yeah, some people think it's good numbers. Some people think it's bad numbers. Some people think they were great numbers. That's the beauty of investing. It's all up for debate. It's all up for opinion. Obviously, right now, most people agree on the side that these were not great numbers. I'm probably in the minority when I say I'm happy with $27 million in revenue for the quarter, but I will say I'm not happy with the $5 million or $4 million in energy revenue, whatever it was. I'm not happy with that. I wanted 7 to 10 million, 7 at a minimum. So we're gonna have to see what happens with that. Let's see. Yeah, the S&P is still near an all-time high, which is crazy to think about. The small caps will continue to get beat down while the S&P keeps roaring higher and higher and higher. It's the way the market right now. The big stocks right now are performing tremendously, and I'm actually having a website made, hopefully, comparing the S&P 500 with the S&P 490, basically, without the top 10 stocks in the S&P 500. My guess is you would see quite a big gap between the S&P 500 and the S&P 500 without those top 10 stocks. My guess is that's pretty big gap. So I'm hopefully having a website made to compare that information. We'll see what happens with it though. Let's see. I see somebody saying not everything is a buy the dip and not every valid concern is FUD. I agree 100% with that. Not everything is buy the dip. But if you feel like these were good numbers and it's an overreaction, then yeah, it's a good buy the dip. Now, on the FUD side of things, FUD doesn't have to be false. FUD can be real. FUD can be true, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt. It doesn't have to be false. Let's see. SolarWatt did like $20 million in revenue analyzed. They announced in the press release when they did the acquisition. Somehow that revenue evaporated into thin air. Smells fishy. My guess with that is, actually I know that solar panels have had just as bad supply chain constraints as have batteries. So we'll see what happens when the supply chain constraints go away. It's obviously not beautiful to see. I mean, when they made that acquisition, I was really, really excited. I'm still excited. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Right now, the market is not liking it too much. Big Daddy says it's the overvalued stocks that are getting hit or the companies not making money. I actually disagree with that one. If you look at the forward PE ratios on stocks right now, you can see it pretty clearly. The overvalued stocks right now are the large cap, S&P 500 large cap, which is what I just got done talking about. Forward PE right now on large caps is higher than it has been since the tech bubble, since I was born. This is what you call overvalued. The mid caps, the small caps, the stocks that have been getting hit hard right now, their valuations have come way back down. Way back down. Small caps are lower than they have been historically. And yeah, Nick, exactly. Nick says it. 35% of S&P returns came from just 5 stocks year to date. That's why I want a website made comparing the S&P 500 with the S&P 490, taking those top 10 stocks, top 10 holdings within the S&P 500 out of there. I'm guessing there's quite a big gap there, and we'll see if that website can come to fruition. Let's see. People say once big caps get hit, so will all the small caps. That is also not necessarily true. People forget, forward PE ratios right now on large caps are very high. You cannot argue that. There's no arguing that. They're high right now. But the share prices of large caps don't have to come down if the earnings of the companies catch up to their share price. That in turn will bring their forward valuations down while their share prices stay stagnant or even go up maybe. It's all interesting stuff to think about. This market's just a very weird market. And last year was a very weird market where you could buy anything and it'd go up, 100% within a week. It's just the market's not like that, and 2021 has been kind of a year of reckoning for that. Now, as we move into the new year, I think it's probably all going to reverse, and you're going to see the mid-cap names and the small-cap names, their valuations catch back up, and the large-cap valuations come back down to reality. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll give one more quick rundown of what the earnings call told us. We had about $27 million in revenue. Analysts expected $23.26 million, so we beat on revenue. I expected $7 to $10 million in energy business revenue, but we only got 4 to 5. Analysts expected 7 cents positive EPS. I'm guessing we missed. I don't know for sure. We do know for the year we had $9 million on a non-GAAP basis, $9 million dollars in positive net income, which leads into 31 cents positive earnings per share. Jason says, sucks to see your money decreasing in large chunks, but just have to remember patience. The market has shown how easily retail investors get spooked. Remember that institutions hold shares for years. I could not have said that better, Jason. Literally, that's how institutions make money, is by messing with retail investor psychology. If the retail investor wasn't in the stock market, they wouldn't be able to make money. And they'd be competing with other large institutions, and it'd be very difficult. They make money by using the emotional instability of most retail investors. You've seen it in CleanSpark today. Stop loss is probably going off, margin call is happening. Oh no, the company sucks. But guess what? Institutional ownership in CleanSpark is higher than it's ever been right now. So it's kind of, investing in the stock market in my mind is counterintuitive to what most people think. And it all goes with that, be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. Right now, with the vast majority of the market, not even just CleanSpark, people are in big fear mode, huge fear mode, which in turn we know always, it's not usually, always fixes itself. Always reverses. We'll have to see what happens. I'm seeing we had negative 15 cents quarter 4 EPS. Thanks for putting that in there. I see Ashley and Mr. Stonks put that. I'm going to write that in my notes. Thank you for that, because I did not see that. And I probably should have looked for that in the financials. So that obviously missed analyst expectations of positive 7 cents. We got negative 15 cents EPS. Yeah. This market sucks. Yeah. I'll be the first one to say it. The market sucks. Investors have lost interest, but it's always when investors lose interest and the markets suck the most when things start to turn around and things turn in the other direction. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that day right alongside all the rest of you. I think patience pays. Warren Buffett's quote that the market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient couldn't be more true. So in my shoes, I'm just being patient with this. I think most stocks are going to recover very, very successfully over the course of 2022. I think towards the end of December will show that. All right. I am going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you guys all for coming out. I greatly appreciate it. It's awesome that, thousands of you can show up to watch a live stream from me, especially when the markets are tough like now. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys are new here or returning, not yet subscribed, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'll leave this up. I'll leave this live stream up for replay for anybody that wants to go back and watch the earnings call over. But with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I have a final I have to go take tonight, another final tomorrow, and a project due tomorrow, and then another final on Thursday. And then I am finally done with the semester on Friday. It could not come soon enough. But yeah, with that, guys, have a great rest of your day. Take care.